Hey guys, it's Patrick. I'm here with another tie tying video. Today we're going to do another tie with a necktie, and this is another woven knot. So if you like the Trinity knot, this is even more woven than the Trinity knot. In fact, it's quite a complicated knot. So what I'm going to say is give this one a couple of tries. It does take a good number of tries to get this right. And in fact, you may want to actually have instructions, which I do. I have instructions. You can find them all over the internet. This is not a tie that I tie very often. I would do it for a formal occasion if I was going to a party or to a dance or to a wedding, if you wanted to do something where it would be a bit more fancy than you would expect. You're going to start off, you're going to be using mostly the thin end of this. And you're going to want to start off with a very subtly patterned tie or a non-patterned tie. The pattern doesn't really stand out, the knot pattern doesn't stand out if you have too many stripes or paisley or polka dots or something interfering with it. So something with a really, this is just a gray on gray pattern, it's very, very subtle, and you're going to see when the knot is finished why you would want to do that. So you're going to start with the wider end in your non-dominant hand. For me, that's my left hand. And you're going to adjust it so that it's just about at your navel, which is a bit too short for a tie, but when you tighten it at the end, it will fall down a little bit more. And you need a tremendous amount of this longer side because we make a number of different knots. All of the knots are going to be made with the thinner side. So you start off with the thinner side in your dominant hand. And with most ties where you're knotting without this falling in the back, you're going to want to make a dimple. As I've said before, I'm terrible at dimple making, so I tend to straighten it out at the end. Dimple's not necessary, but it does make it look a little bit sharper at the end. So it's just basically grabbing both ends and doing that, and then that dimple should fall out. So the first thing you're going to do, and if I look down, that's because I am looking at my instructions. I don't know this one completely by heart, but it is easier, I find, than just following instructions to actually watch it on video, which is why I'm doing it on video. You're going to cross this in front, the thinner side in front of the wider side, right over that dimple that you've made. And then you're going to go underneath, so behind the tie itself, and then over the front, over top, as they say, and then pull it back to the side that the wide side started on. So back this way for me, that would be to the left. See how I've made just a little bit of a triangle in that way. All right, next step, you're going to pull this in front and you're going to make a cover like you normally would one on a lot of different tie styles. This cover right here is going to rest a little bit lower and it's going to be a little bit tighter than you're used to. So you pull it across, making the cover, and then go underneath the collar here, pull it tight, and pull it to the opposite end. Okay, so underneath and then back over. Now we are going to go behind the tie again and keep this end right here that you just crossed over. Keep it fairly loose because when you go behind the tie, you're going to go through that right there. And the way that you tighten this is you're going to tighten this top by pulling the back of this knot. And again, remember, this is a very tight knot that you're going to want to make. So pull it as tight as you can make it. Okay, that's good. Looks like a bit of a mess, but don't worry, you're going to make it actually look like a really nice knot. Next thing you're going to do is go over once, over the top of the neck knot, and then you're going to go over one more time. And when you go over this time, you're going to pull it to the opposite side. Now that second knot should go a little bit above that first knot. So see that first loop, I mean, one loop, two loops. The second loop, keep it a little bit loose because once again, we're going to pull the tie through after you've gone behind, and you've basically now made an Eldredge knot. See what it looks like? See how it's got a lower one, a middle one, top. It's kind of like a Trinity knot, but it's a little bit bigger, a little bit fancier. Now, as with most of these knots, you just tuck this underneath. Goes better, it stays faster, stays longer if you pull it underneath rather than over the top, and then you can adjust this knot by pulling it up, then bringing down your collar. This is not a thin knot. This is a thicker knot. And again, my dimple making skills are terrible, so please don't judge me on that. But there's your Eldredge knot. So your Eldredge knot is another woven knot, kind of like the Trinity knot, only a couple more steps. Like I said, it's good to have instructions with you, and it's also good to stay very patient with this. You can do it, and when you have a really well placed Eldredge knot, people are going to ask you how you did it, what it is, and you can say, I learned it on YouTube. Till next time, thanks very much.